Hey guys, so we're down at the Liverpool Press Centre and we've just watched the 10 semi-final qualifiers qualify through to the final on Saturday, and we're going to talk about our thoughts on the qualifiers. Clara, you're very handy with the list, and the first country we've got to talk about is...
Albania. And this is a country I was not expecting to qualify. I want to take the moment to apologize for calling it a toilet song before. It was not my best moments, but I'm happy it qualified, and I could see why it qualified because the whole vibe tonight was really, really magical. It had a lot of power.
Yeah, that was exactly the word that I was going to use. It was just power, this entry. The vocals were performed really well. We kind of had this epic stage in which I've said in the past, I would like to see Albania do something different, a bit more vibrant, a bit more colourful. But for what it was a really powerful, kind of impactful staging for me. And, you know, we've never been able to say anything negative about the vocals of Albina and her fam. We love them. So, Jess, your thoughts on Albania qualifying? A surprise?
For me, no. I actually had a sneaking suspicion that this could qualify, and I did kind of leave it out of my top 10 in place of Poland instead, which did qualify. But when I was watching their rehearsals, I thought this is coming across really well on stage. Like, it's sounding really good, it's looking really good, and I just had a feeling that it could be enough to get them in the final.
Well, it was.
Yeah, it was.
Who was next, Clara?
It was Cyprus.
Ooh.
For me, this was a sure qualifier, especially when we saw the rehearsals and how well the visuals worked, and how well Andrew is also part of the visuals. And
I think that's our way of saying he's a little cutie.
No, but like it worked really well. He has a very magnetic presence on stage, and when the song changes color and there's all of the fire around him, it's also very impactful.
Yeah, one of my favourite performances tonight, actually. I thought he really brought it home on stage. From what I could hear, he nailed those kind of high vocals, and there's a lot of them in that song. One thing I never noticed before was that he was barefoot. Was he barefoot in all of the rehearsals?
Never looked at his feet before.
Yeah, funny enough, we weren't looking at his feet before.
Yeah, that's more interesting thing to look up.
Guys, someone let us know in the comments if he was barefoot during the rehearsals. But yeah, really, really happy for Cyprus. And you know what I'm happy about is that they've gone for maybe a bit of a different formula this year. We've not gone kind of Eleni Foureira, Tamta, who was the other one? I can't remember. El Diablo.
Eleni Sangrino.
Yes, so we've gone for something different, and it's paid off for Cyprus, and I think this will actually do well in the final also.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I think he had some of the best vocals of tonight, and those high notes were just absolutely incredible, and I can totally see and hear why he qualified. I think it's totally deserved for this performance to be in the final.
Yeah, there we go. Next up, Clara, was...
Estonia! Palione esti! Congratulations, Estonia. For me, this song really grew up in these weeks that we've been here in Liverpool, because watching it grow and the glow up from Esilal to the Eurovision stage, seeing the graphics, seeing the vocals, that she has been perfect in every run through. So I thought that this would be a qualifier.
Yeah, and this was a standout song again for me tonight, because we didn't really have anything else like this. Yes, we had kind of, you know, the power ballad from Georgia, but this is just a really beautiful, humble song. She's also a very humble and talented singer. But for me, it just all worked. I love the visuals on stage. It was simple. They weren't overdoing anything. And I think that really stood out and got the audience to vote for Estonia tonight.
Yeah, for me, Estonia was one of the standouts from this semi, and I think she had some of the best vocals that I've ever heard. For me personally, the performance was quite emotional. I was almost about to cry, quite literally. Like when she hit those high notes, it was like goosebumps and chills. Like I just thought, there's no way this is not going to qualify.
Yeah. Next up, we had
Belgium. I was so happy for this qualification. For me, it was like the one I wasn't sure the most, but I loved that it qualified, and I loved it for him because he really, really deserves it. And it's what you said in one video, like you get to an age where you don't think you get to the point in your career where you don't think you can like do bigger, better. And to have him live this moment, he was also talking about this in your interview. It's so magical, and I'm just so happy for him.
Yeah, and it has to be reaction of the evening as well. If you can see how much it meant to someone, it meant a lot to him. And it's, it's a whole story, this song, Gustaph being at Eurovision, the story that he's telling with his staging. He's not only done this for himself, he's done this for, a huge community all around the world, and he's telling his story as he knows it on stage. So really, really happy. I will always be the first one to say I didn't give this a chance when I first heard it, but it's been a grower, and I'm actually really happy. And there was a lot of support here in the press centre for Gustaph as well. But what also has been lovely is to see the support that he's had from the other Eurovision 2023 artists as well. So I think he's done this for everyone tonight. Really, really proud of him.
I am so happy that this qualified, but I think I'm more happy for Gustaph that he has this opportunity to kind of get himself and his song out there yet again in the final. I mean, this was just absolutely fabulous on stage. It just brought the roof down, or whatever the expression is. And yeah, it was just fabulous from start to finish. And I'm so happy this is qualified.
Yeah, and it just shows you never give up on your dreams. Next up, Clara.
Your girls, Austria. Yeah, this was one I was sure 100% it was qualifying, no doubt there. Her vocals were amazing. They have a really fun dynamic on stage, a really fun friendship, and it looked really elegant and they sounded great.
Yeah, all the way through, before we ever saw this song performed live, this is one where I was concerned about the vocals the most, and that's not because I had any concerns about Teya or Salena, but bringing it all together is a very, very difficult song to sing live. And there's a lot of elements in the song that actually they could have used kind of a backing track, but they are singing those elements live as well. I think the performance has been elevated when it has an audience. I think when we saw the rehearsals with no audience, it felt a little bit empty for me, but I think with the audience in the arena, it just gave the performance something different. So we knew this was going to qualify. There wasn't a hope in hell that this wouldn't qualify. Interesting to see how this will do in the final. But Jess,
yeah, I agree with everything you've just said. I mean,
thank you.
I mean, this was a surefire qualifier, and it really came to life on stage with an audience, and I think that really helped to carry it through. And they sounded they harmonised perfectly. They sounded amazing.
Okay, and now over to
Lithuania and sorry,
we have a thing that we replace the lyrics for "I Love Prosciutto," but yes, this is our I love prosciutto song. But best vocal of the evening.
Absolutely, best vocals of the evening. She was giving it all. It all came together so beautifully. I love the chemistry with the singers around her. It was just like a family or a friends just joining together in a very empowering song.
Yeah, and then again, an amazing reaction. You could see how much it meant to her. This is kind of her going out solo for the first time at Eurovision.
And her second qualification. That's we have a lot of second qualifications this year in Eurovision. We have Loreen, we have Pasha Parfeni, and now we have Monica Linkite.
Oh yeah, I've never thought of that actually. Lithuania.
Oh, I'm so happy this qualified. Monica and her backing vocalists were just incredible on stage. Like, it's such an uplifting and heartwarming song and performance. And I remember, like, before she was announced as a qualifier, you could see how nervous she was and almost kind of maybe looking a bit sad. And then to go from that to just pure joy was just so lovely to see.
Now, I think at this point we started to work out that there may be a shock non-qualifier, but we've gone over to one probably that we thought would qualify anyway, which is
Poland. I am very happy for her qualification. I am really happy for her qualification because she's been really nice. Like, she's really embraced this Eurovision experience. She's even played into it with like the beba on her dress, and like her staging was so much. It was so overdone that it was funny. There was like an element of fun there, and we love like how TVP went up with like the effects and everything, which made it hilarious. And it sounded it's a nice song. I like it, and she moves great. It's the dance break for me.
And Jess, I'm going to move over to you for our next qualifier, which was
Australia.
Oh my god!
Heart attack moment.
I mean, I wasn't worried that they weren't going to qualify because I just thought there's no way that this could not qualify. This was, in my opinion, the most epic performance from this semi-final. And, I mean, they've got to be the semi-final winners, right? I mean, that was just incredible on stage. Watch out in the final, they're going to do well.
Yeah, now the nerves were really coming at this point because we had Armenia, Georgia and Slovenia left, which are the three songs that we were probably all expecting all to qualify. But next up we had...
Armenia. I am so happy this qualified because it has broken the second position, running position curse. Because this song qualified.
Oh, and yes, it has. I didn't think about that.
And it's such a beautiful song. It's so beautifully staged. I love that she goes through this fragility to this very strong moment, and it was really eye-catchy.
Mm-hmm. And last up, we had, after lots and lots of chanting here in the press centre, going Slovenia, and we were probably nervous as hell at this point, but it was the boys.
I mean, I don't think I've ever been more nervous in my life. I mean, I kind of had a feeling that they would be the qualifier, just because of how amazing their performance was in terms of the vocals, the staging, the charisma. But I was still getting worried and kind of thinking, what if we lose them? Like, what if we get another shock non-qualifier? But I'm so happy for the boys that they've made it.
Yeah, I was scared at this point, but I kind of knew that they were going through. Probably got one of the biggest fan bases here at Eurovision, I would say. But yeah, guys, if you actually want to see our reactions as the countries are being called, you have to go and follow us on TikTok and Instagram, and you can watch our reactions there. But otherwise, we've got a couple of days now. We've got the grand final coming up. Don't leave us because we've got so much more coming up for you guys. And yeah, follow us on TikTok, Instagram to see our live reaction. And yeah, we will catch up with you soon.
Yes.
See you guys. Bye.